I already saw this once, kind of. I remember questioning why you were doing this. This is how I knew it was you. I was trying to figure out who was the one I'm supposed to watch. You were really lucky that the Sigma didn't pay attention. A little risky. Sounds kind of dumb, but I mean you were pretty far up, but I would have pinned either behind him. This is where I said it's kind of dumb. Have him die instead, or back up here, or just back up all the way and wait. Maybe, because at this point you'd have to like assume they have ults, so like I think that's when you don't go for a flank. I mean, a flank is okay, but like you already know they're gonna have a fight, or this fight with ults, because they just lost like 2 fights. So you being in the front would be better, especially because you're close to. So with your 2 shields, you could have probably prevented all this. Plus, you play so aggressive that you probably wouldn't have even got caught in that, in this Gravitic anyway, so you would have been fine. Plus Immortal. Or you could have been, you're protecting, or this would have never happened actually, with the sim. And then that was too far. But at least you did, I don't think you ulted, so that's good. Sorry, the camera's stupid. A shatter, I'm assuming. You got so lucky. You should have died. Yeah, I would have said just save the pin for this dude, like Tor, but I mean it worked out. Just because your supports are actually watching you. If I remember correctly, I did watch this the first time around with Maka. Your Sigma is just garbage. I don't know if that's like a friend of yours or it's just maybe it's just a rando. Maybe it is a rando, or if it isn't, whatever. Still to me, but I don't know. They looked really bad. Like if you actually watch them, they're pretty bad in this game. And admit maybe just because like they're not used to the cooldowns and stuff, but sometimes they would peek with no shield and. I feel like you should have fire striked sooner, especially when they were shattered, but whatever. In the event, like, his teammates are actually more out, you could have probably saved them. Had you not, or had your teammates not actually helped you there. Little wishful thinking. You should have backed up sooner. You're like, sometimes you shield, and you shield like more than you need to shield. Like it's a little unnecessary. Especially because sometimes you're like around cover. So you don't even have to use that much shield. You just use the shield to get to cover. Especially because you're playing against a sim. Torb, Zen, Hog. So you want to conserve as much shield as you can. Typically I think a good number would be like 200 to 300 shield. Once you hit like that, those numbers is like when you want to like play more selfish. But you're playing quick play, so I mean, you can't really like calm with anybody. Also, your Sigma, whenever he does play, he kind of plays like defensive. Like he kind of plays like a Zen in the back line. So if it were me, where you got the cart is like good, so you don't even have to go this way. I mean, you can. I mean, most people would. I would go on that high ground again and just take over the high ground, which will just force him to go back. Look at Shatter. Unfortunate pin because it pushes them. Well, it doesn't matter. Huge. Farming him good. Probably shouldn't push left. And at this point you kind of just commit to one side, like probably just the right side. Or if you were going, the only way I would go left is like to hit one more fire strike into that window, because you could have killed, I think, maybe the Orisa with it or the Torb had you aimed, but the Orisa would have been easier to hit, so you probably would have killed her. If not killed her, she would have been one. No one would have saved her. So now you're kind of just like, took the long way. Now you're just like wrapping around in front of the cart. So no one's gonna be able to heal you that well. Now you're getting healed via a Hog back here with a Zen. No, I think Zen's dead, yeah. Which is weird. Hey, your BAP. I guess most supports, but your BAP is like saving your ass so many times. Like you should be dead multiple times over. Huge. Well, yeah, that's fine. You got lucky they pushed you off. I think just because you more than likely won't kill the Moira, you're better off just like either hitting him or shielding. Especially, I think your Sigma's like brain dead. Okay. You didn't need it. You could have shielded it, so none of that would have been an issue. You probably wouldn't have died anyways. Oh, your Sigma's really bad. Look at this. Stupid rock. Not bad. And somehow Moira's just destroying everybody because I think Sigma can't aim for anything. Probably also didn't have his rock because he wasted it on a shield on an Orisa that's fully HP. Not bad. Honestly, I would wait for the pin. You're aiming for the Moira, but I would aim for this Zarya. I don't think it matters anyways. but not bad. Even better. Not the best fire strike ever, but you know, whatever. I don't think you would have killed anyone anyways, but with the fire strike, I mean. Little too much. You must be stressing your support so much. Poor Josue over here. That's rough. I'm telling you, your Sigma is just trash. Honestly, I'm not sure what you could have done there. This seems like they have the sustain to like last longer here. It probably would have been more doable if your Sigma wasn't playing like a bitch and he was like actually frontlining with you. So at this point, you should be fine for the fight. Technically, you guys should win this. I don't see how you would lose this, but I know you guys lose this. But you gotta love quick play. Like no one's shooting at the turret. Oh, Super still dies to it. I think it's just a matter of like your teammates are kind of just oblivious to Torb. And this guy can't Sigma for his life. So this is good. This is perfect. I would have done the same thing. Turret is once again denying you guys. That sucks. I didn't even see the turret still up. You know, you would assume that people would just take it out after dying to it already, like twice. Ooh, that's weird. That's tough. It's weird because like it's quick play, so like no one's on mic and you're probably not on mic, so it's like that would have been avoided with like I don't know, a mic. But typically, if I know there's a or a TP up, that's what I try to focus a lot. If my team is just like doesn't realize what TP can do or how much of a threat it can be. So this would have been fine. It's just the unfortunate part that they actually came back. Because had they like stayed a little longer, they wouldn't have mattered. Because then you could have just took out TP yourself. And if you try taking out TP yourself before the shatter, you'd probably die. Because yeah, you'd probably die. Maybe. Yeah, you would die. Yeah, maybe. There's the off chance that you would have been here swinging and stuff. And like these two, the Torb and the Zen would have just melted you. Or they TP into you and then you have more damage onto yourself. Or you might be able to pick off one or two. But it's all speculations, fake news. Look at this guy. Okay. This is where like either right now and even probably before right now, like like when you were like over here and she had already started pushing out, that's where I would have, and he probably wouldn't have been like that charged up in his volley. That's where like you would pin this way or pin at her, you know, just to take her out of the fight. She's like way too confident here. Would you try to get her, but it was way too late. Like she's already coming back, and your pin is just pushing her away, and she escaped. So I would have pinned sooner. So fire strike's good. Swing kind of makes a move back a little bit. And then right here is when you like you're like, okay, time to pin. And nope, fire strike instead. I think you moving it so much. I forgot what Jag said, but I think it's the left shoulder that sucks him in. That would have pulled him into your pin. You would think this is enough. Huge, huge, huge. Duh. Do I know that feeling? Oh yeah, Torb on you too, but that sucks. You could have almost like won this by yourself. I think, yeah. These guys are staggering. Well, they got an ult out of him. Oh no. Poor guy. Oh, there are a couple of supports on the blue team. How adorable. The reset. That would have been another moment to pin. But you missed it. I don't know if you would have killed her, but it would have been a huge moment. This is actually even better. The unfortunate part, I don't know if you kill her, but if you do, it's huge. But if you don't... Damn. That sucks. Wait a minute. I do remember there was something in this before, when I watched it the first time around, that I would have done differently, if I can find it. So, when she was like stepping way over here, I mean you're taking a lot of damage because you swing too much, but I would have pinned backwards and taken the Zarya away from the fight. And then you guys can take the fight easier. But it doesn't even matter. I think your team is just like, as you would say, just dog shit. But like your off tank is just like not good at all. Your supports are great though. Honestly, I think Reinhardt's such an easy character that like when someone asks me like for tips and stuff, really it's not that much. It's just you didn't have any Ryan to go again, so there's not much I can say on that part. But like just like being more selfish with your shields is like always the thing I say. Just if you try to shield everything, then you just like end up being more of a target. Especially like nowadays with like how the meta's going, or trying to go, or people trying to figure it out with echoes and crap, and all that damage on the other team right now. You're better off just like being a little more selfish. But in quick play, or being in like when matches actually matter, you would have to like tell them when you're dropping shield. And then, I mean, I think every Ryan has a different number for shields, or some don't have a number at all. But like mine would be like 200 to 300. On the shields is like when you start to like play extra selfish and tell people you're not shielding a majority of it until like your regens. Or sometimes I'll be like it's near breaking, even though it's like around those numbers, so like people would get off my back and not play around my shield. Um, but not bad. Your pins are a little out there, but like luckily no one's really punishing you for it for the most part. I think flank pins are fine, but you have to like it has to be moments where like like they don't have anything ult wise that can like win them the team fight with you not being in the front line. Paying attention to your fire strikes, but maybe spacing them out a little bit. I typically go for like the ones in the back line. Is sometimes the tanks, obviously, but like whoever lines up with the person in front of you when you throw it, because they're gonna try to dodge it whoever's in the back because they have the time to do it. I try to line it up with the person in front, but where the person is going to move to, whoever's in the back. So you'll like almost always guarantee at least 1 to 3 people getting hit by the fire strikes. You'll always be farming fire strikes for your earth shatters. So you don't have to swing as often as you do if you keep doing it, because fire strikes is huge, or are huge. But you gotta really bless by your supports, honestly, sometimes. Not even sometimes, most of the time. But then you had this guy on your team, and things just fell apart. This is one of those games where you probably had old golds. But yeah, not bad. I still think maybe like a 6.5 if I was to rate it. Yeah. I bet you Coco wouldn't be a fan of your Junkrat on your team either. A lot of things went wrong, but at least your supports are good. This took me a little longer to do. I was gonna do it yesterday, but I forgot what happened. I kind of spaced out, but yeah. GG's.